Okay, this is how I color my Zentangle tiles with magicals. You can see this is kind of the effect that I like to get, where it's darker on the outside, lighter on the inside. This one I did with a border. This one I covered the whole tile. This one I had some water play nice effects to kind of get this rippling. And then this one's kind of looks like a moon to me. So going to be using regular Zentangle tile. I have the round number 4 brush that comes in the Zentangle kits. I have a round number 10 brush. I have a flat 1-inch brush, a flat 3/4 inch brush. I have 2 jars of water, one that will be clean water, one that I'm going to wash my brushes in. I also have a dropper of water that I'll add, and I'm going to be using the Showstopper Copper and the Milk Chocolate Brown. I think I'll start with the Milk Chocolate Brown, the Lindy's Magicals. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my tile. So I'm just going to dip my brush into the water, and I'm going to spread this along kind of like I'm making my 4 corner dots with the border. You don't really have to turn your tile each time, but I find it kind of helps. And then I'm going to make sure I get the water in the middle too. So my whole tile is going to be covered with water, and you want it, pretty saturated. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip we'll start with the little brush, in water, and then I'm going to blot it off on a paper towel so it's damp. And then I'm just going to put the very tip into the magicals so that I pick some up, and then I'm going to touch it to one of the corners. And I'm just going to touch it and push it, and it's not really moving, so I'm going to add more water to get it flowing. There we go. Now the color is coming out. And I'm just kind of tapping and pushing the pigment down. I'll grab some more. I'll start at this corner and I'll go up. Grab some more water and make it flow better. So I'm not really painting, I'm just kind of tapping and moving. So now we'll do it again on this side. Add some more water and just kind of push this up. A little more pigment, more water. And you can kind of slide. Okay, gonna add some on this corner. Oh, this was good. This has a good puddle of water that I'm gonna make connect and then go out this way. And you'll see that I'm pushing it. I'm not really painting, so to speak. So I'm either dabbing it or I'm pushing it. But I'm not doing regular brush strokes. And then once I have it on the edges, I'll kind of tilt my tile around, and you'll see I missed a spot of water, so I'll just touch that. And then this I think is too concentrated, so I'll push some of the pigment out so that it can swirl around towards the edges. Okay, so that's this guy done. So let me go ahead and do a Zentangle for you. So what you can also do is you can start by putting a big puddle of water in the middle. So I'm just gonna, with my eyedropper, make a big old puddle of water. And then I'm gonna use flat brush, and I'm just gonna push this out and make a border that goes around. Trying to stay even in my border, but if you don't get even, it's okay. And then I'm going to add some more water. Make sure I get all the spots. You can kind of pick it up and see I didn't go all the way around. I missed this side. So you can kind of see how it's really shiny. So now again I'll use the bigger brush this time. So I'm just going to blot it off on my paper towel to get it damp. Go straight in to the Lindy's Magicals, and then I'm going to touch the corner or the edge. Grab some more, come down here. And my tile is buckling a little bit, but I feel like that's just going to help with the flow of everything. So I'm okay with that right now. Okay. And I always start at my edges first. So now what I'm going to do is you can actually just push the tile down and see how all the pigment kind of comes in, and I can help it a little bit more by tilting the edges up. And then you kind of swirl it around. So there's a lot of water left on this, but I think I'm going to leave it there to let it dry a little bit, and then I'll show you how I can take off some of the water after it dries just a little. So let me show you with a different color. Let's grab another tile. And this one with water drops, you can just do some random drops. And I think actually I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to do the Oh Canada Crimson, because I think I want a darker color for you to see. So again, I clean my brush, I blot it off so it's just damp. I'm going to go in with just the very tip, and then I'm just going to touch this to some of the dots of water. And I just keep touching the very tip of the brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of move these guys around a little bit, see if I can get them to connect. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. This will be more like a map tangle one. I'm going to just smooth out the edges over here. I don't like how jagged they were. But I'm not really painting, so to speak. I'm just kind of touching and moving things. I'm going to extend this out a little bit. And then slide things around. You can also have them drip and see where the drips go. And we can figure out if we want to them to touch or not. I kind of like the way this looks, where they're almost touching. So there's a lot of water left on this one. So I think what I'm going to do, which is another technique that I like, I'm going to grab another tile and I'm going to kind of lay it on top and then smush it and see what happens. So I'm just going to press it down a little bit. I'm not using a lot of force, but I'm just kind of touching everything. And now we'll take this out and we'll see what it looks like. It kind of stuck together. There we go. So you can see this one. And then we still have some over here. So I'm just going to slide this around to get it a little bit more evenly coated. And we've kind of got a mirror image now, where this one's a bit lighter. Okay, and let me show you one more thing. So I'll move that to the edge. How you can create effects if you drop in water. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wet my tile again with clear water. And I think I'm going to go all the way to the edges. So you can pick it up to the light to see if you've covered the whole page. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, this time I am kind of going to paint, where I will grab my colors and I'm just going to push them down. And then I'm going to cover the whole page. I think I'm going to add a little more, go to the bottom and then come back up. Again, I like darker edges on the side. Okay, so I've got my whole tile pretty much covered. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my brush and I'm going to go into the clean water and I'm just going to grab a dot of water on my brush and I'm going to touch it to the paper, and then I'm just going to kind of dab it a little bit. I'm going to grab more water, put it on, and I'm just touching it and then letting it dab, and you see how it's running, so it kind of makes like little salt effects almost. So it's like snowflakes, and the more you tap it, like the bigger the little splotch will get. So you can just do one guy, or you can make them, tap them a little bit more and they kind of run. And you can make them just kind of random. You can also do this with the dropper. If you wanted to just drop a drop of water on, you can see that one kind of went big. But it's kind of fun how they move, and you can get different effects. You can leave it like this, or you can kind of swivel things around a little bit. I think I'm going to add just a couple more drops into this little dark area up here, and then maybe over there. Okay. You can also go in with a paper towel and you can lift out some of the color to give it more of a texture. Okay, you can also do that with your tiles where they still have a lot of water in the center. So let me just get here, and I'm just gonna kind of let the paper towel soak up the puddle of water that's in the middle, and then kind of go out so that my center is a little bit lighter. Okay, but you can see this guy, and then earlier I had done another one. So this guy, he's still drying a little bit, but you can see how, again, darker on the edges and then kind of letting it go light into the middle. Same with this one. Okay, you can also do, which I'm sure you know, you can do dry. I have a tiny tile. I can do it where I'm just gonna dry off my brush, dip into the magicals, and then start painting a little bit, and then add water to get it to go around. Add a little more water to mix it out. And then if you get like these hard edges, you can go with more water, or you can go with a little bit more paint to kind of cover them up a little bit. And then I'm just gonna blend this out a little so that it's not such a harsh edge. But I really like when the pigments don't mix fully. So like you get these random colors like we have over here. So that's real fun. So that's kind of how I go about using my magicals. And I hope that helped. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask, and I will try and answer them as best I can. So I hope you have fun, and I would love to see what you make with them.